I've said it before and I'll say it again. There have never been more mortgage options for first-time buyers than right now. And they've just gotten better because Aldermore have now launched a 98% loan-to-value mortgage. And that now sees them offering a growing list of other lenders who are offering low deposit options now. So in simple terms, with this one, if you were buying a £200,000 property, you'd only need a £4,000 deposit, which sounds great. So a few key facts about it. It has to be a residential purchase. The maximum loan amount is £600,000, and you do have to be employed. It's not open to those who are self-employed or contractors. Now, it's definitely not the cheapest mortgage on the market, and it's definitely not the cheapest low deposit option on the market. Currently, it's a 5-year fixed rate of 6.65%. However, this is where it gets interesting. If you've not heard of Aldermore before, it's probably because they are what would be called a specialist lender. They specialise in helping cases that don't have perfect credit, let's just call it that. And alongside this launch, they've actually widened their lending criteria. So they're now going to be more flexible around about things like unsecured loans, utility arrears. They've even increased their tolerance for defaults and CCJs. And they're also taking a slightly more flexible approach to secured arrears. So for example, if you were somebody that had a default 3 years ago, you could still qualify for this 2% deposit mortgage with Aldermore, where you might not qualify at all with the other lenders. I mean, they'll even consider applicants who've had an IVA or a trust deed as long as they're 3 years discharged. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone who's got bad credit will suddenly be able to get a 98% mortgage. You're still going to have to go through credit scoring, you're still going to have to go through underwriting, you still have to go through affordability checks, you still have to meet all the other criteria. And generally, if you've got a more serious credit history or it's a lot more recent, then this isn't going to be one for you. You're probably going to have to find a bigger deposit. But if you're employed, you've got strong affordability, you've got a small deposit, and your circumstances maybe mean that the high street lenders won't look at you, you could now have an option that you didn't have this time last week. So I've got a question for you. I'd like to see your answers in the comments. Would you buy with just a 2% deposit, or would you rather save more and put a larger deposit in? I'd be quite interested to see where people sit on this one.